On June 10, 1912, Josiah and Sarah Moore were bludgeoned to death inside their home in Villisca. Their 4 children and 2 friends were spending the night were also killed, and to this day the crime remains a mystery. The homes is considered one of the most haunted houses in the country, and guests were drawn to it. People even paid $400 plus to stay there for one night. The Lamp Mansion in St. Louis is known to be one of the most haunted places in America due to a tragic history that continues to haunt people today. The 33-room home was built in the 1860s by William Lamp, a successful brewery owner who ended up killing himself in 1904 after the youngest of his 4 sons, Frederick, died. A few years later, his wife also died of cancer in the house. Then in 1922, William Lamp Jr. shot himself. In the same room, William Sr. killed himself. As if that wasn't enough tragedy for one place, in 1949, Charles Lamp, William's 3rd son, shot his dog in the basement of the home, then killed himself in his room. That same year, the house was sold and transferred into a boarding house, where reports of hauntings began. According to Destination America, witnesses have experienced burning sensation and slamming doors. Today, the Lamp Mansion is a restaurant and inn that holds events. On Sunday nights, the inn hosts a murder mystery dinner. Rumored to be on top of burial ground is a murder plantation in Louisiana, which is the home to at least 12 different ghosts. Built in 1796, ghost stories centered around the tale of a former slave named Chloe who had her ear chopped off after she was reportedly caught eavesdropping. In seeking revenge, Chloe killed 2 of her master's daughters by poisoning a birthday cake. She was then hanged by her fellow slaves, and today is reportedly seen watering the plantation with a turban on to conceal her cut. If you want to investigate things for yourself, you can stay at the plantation for $175 a night. Villa di Vecchi's foreboding, alright. Just consider that looming fog blanket located near Lake Como, Italy. The House of Witches dates back to 1854 to 1857, when it was built as a summer house for Count Felix di Vecchi. The family was only able to spend a few years there as their lives moved into tragedy right after it was built. First, the architect died a year later after construction. Then in 1862, Count de Vecchi came home to discover his wife was murdered and his daughter missing. When he could not find her after a year searching, he died by suicide. His brother then moved into the home, and his family continued to live there until World War II. It's been vacant since the 1960s, and an avalanche in 2002 wiped out all the houses in the area except for this one. Spooky. In 1937, millionaire inventor Norman J. Baker posed as a doctor and turned the hotel into a hospital and said that he could cure cancer. Have the chills yet? Baker, who had a fetish for purple, painted many sections of the hospital in the color, and today the chimneys remain that same color. In addition to wearing purple shirts and ties, he drove a purple car as well. People came from all over the hopes of curing cancer, and men who were treated died. Eventually, Baker was exposed and ran out of town, and today the property is an active hotel. It's said to be haunted by several ghosts, including a bearded man with Victorian clothing and a 5-year-old girl. In 1907, Miss Paul Hotel opened as one of the first luxury hotels in Nevada. With a rich history and elaborate decor, the hotel is best known for the legend of the Lady in Red. While the date remains unclear, the story goes like this. A woman was murdered in her room on the 5th floor. Some have said it was a jealous ex-boyfriend, while others say the Lady in Red had been caught cheating by her husband and he killed her in a jealous rage. Those who stayed at the hotel say the Lady in Red whispers in men's ear and leaves pearls from a broken neck on guest pillows. Guests can also stay in the Lady in Red suite to experience it themselves. And if that's too much for you, the Red Lady Bloody Mary at the hotel restaurant should suffice. Seeing as it's the only preserved and intact family home from the 19th century in all of New York City, it makes sense that this house has been the source and subject of many ghost stories. The Treadwell family lived there for over 100 years, and the last family occupant was Gertrude, the youngest daughter who died in the home in 1933. Staff, visitors, and even passersby say they experience weird disembodied things here. Don't buy it. Take a candlelit ghost tour of the museum and decide for yourself. Even if you don't catch your appreciation out the corner of your eye and hear children playing and floorboards in empty rooms, you'll at least get that the sense you're intruding on someone else's space in a completely different time, since it's virtually the same as when Gertrude died. In 1890, the Queen Anne Hotel in San Francisco was an etiquette school for girls. Today it has 48 rooms for guests, even though some believe the ghost of Miss Mary Lake, the school's head mistress, still lingers. Folk who stay in room 410, Miss Mary Lake's former office, have been woken up to find their blankets closely tucked around them in the bed or the clothes unpacked. In 1892, Lizzie Borden was the main suspect for the axe murders of her father and stepmother. Borden was tried and acquitted of the murders, and guests who visited Lizzie's house in Fall River, Massachusetts say she can be heard cackling about it. Others say that you can sometimes hear a maid screaming for help, and that Lizzie's slaughtered parents stalk the grounds. You can also experience the paranormal activity yourself by visiting the Lizzie Borden house, which is now a museum and bed and breakfast.